Now, your News 8 forecast first.
Hey there, I'm Scott Hetzko. Good evening to you. We've got a lot of gray, a lot of clouds, wind out of the north right now, and some drier air trying to work in at this very moment. So we've got to rely on that to work out to get temperatures to these levels tomorrow morning. Waking up with a pretty good freeze, upper 20s and sun. That's going to change abruptly. We go from sun to clouds and maybe some wet snow toward evening, and that could accumulate a modest amount tomorrow night. We'll get to that. The weekend's oh so close. See it all next. News 8 at 11 starts now.
Now on News 8.
The search for Laree Butler comes to a tragic end. 4 days after she went missing, police find a body they believe is hers.
You took away a beautiful girl. A beautiful girl. For no reason at all.
Coming up, a live report from Irondequoit and reaction from Laree's family and friends. BlackBerry admits defeat. Find out what's next for the former king of smartphones. The Rochester School District is opening a new high school. Find out who it's for and why.
Live from WROC, this is News 8 at 11.
Good evening, everyone. It looks like the search for a missing Rochester girl is over.
Late today, police found a body in the backyard of a home in Irondequoit. They believe it's 17-year-old Laree Butler. She's been missing since Saturday. Her body was pulled today from a swimming pool in the backyard of a home on Dorrington Road. That's on the east side of Irondequoit, north of Empire Boulevard and west of 590. We have team coverage of this developing story, and we're going to begin with Mark Ruba, who's live in Irondequoit tonight. Mark?
Maureen, the grandmother of the boy police believe was the last person to see Laree Butler before she went missing, lives at 174 Dorrington Road. That's what led investigators to this Irondequoit neighborhood, and it remains an active crime scene tonight. The search for 17-year-old Laree Butler led investigators here to 174 Dorrington Road in Irondequoit. Police connected the home to the boy who claimed he took Butler to Marketplace Mall before dropping her off at East High on Saturday. Evidence was collected from the home through a search warrant, including what looked to be a rug, before the search expanded to a pool in a neighboring yard.
Through good police work, Rochester police investigator noticed a brick on an enclosed pool that was moved.
The Laurelton Fire Department was called in to drain the pool, which had dark and murky water from apparent lack of use in recent years. A police helicopter also circled overhead. Monroe County District Attorney Sandra Dorley was among those looking on. Shortly before 6, police made the discovery, a female body believed to be Laree Butler.
The medical examiner has to do an investigation for positive identification, but at this time we do have reason to believe that it's probably her.
And Irondequoit and Rochester police tell me tonight they do not have a suspect in custody. The 18-year-old boy who Laree Butler told her mom she was going to the mall with is not cooperating with investigators, according to police. We're live in Irondequoit tonight. Mark Ruba, News 8.
Thank you, Mark. Laree Butler's family's been pleading for help for 4 days now, and tonight her mother's heart is broken. Sarah Putman continues our team coverage, and Sarah, you talk with Karen Snipes.
That's right, Kevin, and she was gracious enough to talk to the media. We all saw how worried and distraught Karen Snipes was these last few days. When she got the news tonight, she broke down. But she was strong enough to give a last plea to the person who may have harmed her daughter.
Laree, I love you, baby. You're in better hands now. Mommy will be there one day soon. I love you, Laree. You didn't deserve this. You didn't deserve it at all, baby.
Pain, sadness, anguish. They're the only words to describe Karen Snipes and her family's emotions after learning police believe they found the body of her daughter, 17-year-old Laree Butler.
She told me that she loves me. If I have known that my baby, this is going to be the last time for me to see my baby, she wouldn't have went.
Along with the grief, she feels anger.
You knew all along. You knew. You knew all along. What happens is you need to turn yourself in. You took away a beautiful girl. A beautiful girl. For no reason at all.
Priceless now, our family pictures, Laree's voicemail message,
Hey, it's Laree, leave a message,
and family videos of her dancing.
Right now, those are very, very important to me because that's the only thing right now that I have, to hear my daughter laugh, to hear my daughter talk.
Now what keeps this mother going are the last words her daughter said to her.
That was the last word, Mommy, I love you. And that's it. And that's all I can just keep playing over and over in my head, that she said she loved me.
Now, Lurie's mother says she does plan to still hold a candlelight vigil for her daughter on Saturday. It was planned before today, so obviously that feeling and spirit of searching is now going to turn into one of remembrance. Sierra Putman, News 8.
All right, thank you, Sierra. The Q Center for Missing Persons helped coordinate volunteers to search for Lurie. One of those involved was Dawn Drexel. She's the mother of Brittany Drexel, who went missing in Myrtle Beach in 2009. Dawn says only a parent who has lost a child can understand what Lurie's family is going through tonight.
You can never prepare yourself for the loss of a child. You can't, because you don't know. You know, when your child goes missing, you don't know where they are, if they're laying somewhere, or if they're cold, or if they're hungry. You don't know.
And to recap tonight, late this afternoon, police found a body they believe to be missing teen Lurie Butler. Butler was 17 years old. Police say she was last seen Saturday when a male friend said he dropped her off near East High after the two went to the mall. That friend stopped talking to police, and today police searched his grandmother's house on Dorrington Drive in Irondequoit. They found the body in the pool of a house next door. So far, there have been no arrests, and in an emotional statement that we just saw tonight, Lurie's mother thanked the community for their help. For more on this story and updates as they happen, go to our website, rochesterhomepage.net. Look for this story on the front page.
We want to update you on another missing persons case with a tragic ending. Funeral arrangements have been set for Alonzo Williams. His body was pulled from the Genesee River in Rochester last week. He had been missing since November. His wake will be held next Friday at the D.M. Williams Funeral Home on Culver Road, and Alonzo Williams' funeral will be held the next day on Saturday. All new at 11 o'clock, the Rochester School Board has given the okay to an all-city high school. This new school is aimed at improving attendance, student graduation rates. All City High School will emphasize individual attention and accountability for kids who are otherwise at high risk for dropping out. It'll be housed on 2 campuses, the current Jefferson and Marshall High Schools. All City High School will open in the fall.
New numbers from the CDC show a significant jump in the number of children with autism. 1 in 88 children are now diagnosed with the disorder, the highest estimate to date. It's even more prevalent in boys. The new numbers are a 78% increase from 2002. Experts don't know if awareness has led to the higher number or if more and more children are autistic.
We weren't surprised at all. We are very aware that the incidence is probably even lower than that, and we know that because of the number of people that come to Unifeed seeking support or training or programming.
Cole is part of Unifeed, a local group of parents who have children with autism. Autism disorders are now almost 5 times more common in boys than girls, affecting 1 in 54 boys compared to 1 in 252 girls.
Tonight we can give you your first look at the new Golisano Children's Hospital at the University of Rochester Medical Center. Renderings of this new $180 million 8-story hospital were unveiled. The building will have more than 200,000 square feet. It'll include a pediatric operating floor, intensive care units, and single rooms for all patients and their families. A play deck and healing garden are also included in plans so kids can be kids.
35 years ago, the thinking was that the family should be spared the anguish of being with their child when medical treatment was being undertaken and when the child was ill. We now know that that was exactly the wrong attitude.
Groundbreaking will happen later this year. The new Children's Hospital should be open by 2015. The sale of synthetic marijuana is banned in New York. The drug usually sold in convenience stores under a wide variety of names. Synthetic marijuana has very dangerous side effects, including death. The plant material in the drug is coated in chemicals that mimic THC. Now, all across New York State, police are being ordered to check stores to make sure they are no longer selling synthetic marijuana. Senator Chuck Schumer is pushing for a ban of it nationwide.
The Webster teenager accused of setting a house fire that killed his father and 2 brothers returned to court today. 15-year-old Michael Pilato is charged with murder, attempted murder, and arson. His attorney is contesting alleged admissions that Pilato made to police while in the hospital. He's also contesting evidence that was removed from the Pilato home after the fire, including a laptop and hard drive. The attorney says it was obtained illegally, but the district attorney says police followed the law.
At this point, there's still a forensic investigation going on with respect to the computer and the PlayStation device. They were taken from the home and then examined pursuant to a search warrant.
It's evidence that the prosecution could be using in their case, and so we want to make sure. We believe that it was not done the correct way, that they did not follow the requirements of law in terms of obtaining that information.
Pilato's attorney says Pilato's mother, who survived the fire, has visited Michael in the detention center every week since the fire in December. The next court date is May 11th.
There's news from your local election headquarters tonight, and if you plan on participating in next month's presidential primary, get moving. Voters need to have a voter registration form in the mail by tomorrow. Tomorrow is also the deadline to register in person, and it's the last day for the Board of Elections to receive applications if somebody hasn't previously registered to vote. Remember, this is a closed primary, meaning you have to be a registered Republican to vote in the Republican presidential primary, which will happen on April 24th. Have you purchased your Mega Millions lottery ticket yet? If not, you could be missing out on a chance to win the largest jackpot in lottery history. The Mega Millions jackpot tonight rose to $540 million. It's expected to grow larger tomorrow. Sales are going through the roof. Nobody has won Mega Millions in the last 18 drawings. Earlier today, we talked with New York lottery hostess Yolanda Vega, and she says the sales are coming from large groups.
I'm seeing more and more people together as groups, at jobs, together as families and friends, get together and pitch in money because we've had a little wreckage. You know, we had Albany 7 state employees put together $1 or $2, won $319 million just a year ago.
And again, that Mega Millions drawing tomorrow night. We'll have your numbers at this time tomorrow on News 8 at 11.
Well, they were once on top of the smartphone world, but now the makers of the BlackBerry are making big cutbacks. Research in Motion says it will shift its focus to mainly business customers, where the company's always been successful. BlackBerry has seen increased competition in recent years from other devices such as the iPhone and Android. Sales of the BlackBerry have fallen 25% in just the last quarter. BlackBerry's share of the global smartphone market has slid to just 8%. Well, a gallon of Rochester gas in Rochester has finally hit $4 a gallon. This is the 20th straight day of rising prices. However, that's still less than the state average of $4.07. Here's a look at gas prices throughout the past year in Rochester. Last week, a gallon of regular unleaded cost $3.97. Last month, it was $3.88, and last year, $3.72. Well, let's take a look at the fuel finder right now. These are the places locals are paying the least for gasoline. You can say they're about 10 cents less than the Rochester average.
These 2 teenagers may be the next big thing after performing on Britain's Got Talent. Their voices make today's viral video. In sports, last tune-up for next week's Masters. John's got great golf action from Houston.
Well, if you haven't heard yet, we've got a touch of snow coming in Friday night. We'll give you the latest on that nuisance snowfall in weather next.
You're watching the team you can trust. Kevin Doran, Maureen McGuire, Rochester's most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Scott Hetzko and Sports Director John Kutchko. This is News 8 at 11. Now, Chief Meteorologist Scott Hetzko with Rochester's most accurate forecast.
And we're looking at tomorrow night here on the first map, and we got a little bit of snow moving on in. Mom Nature going to have a flashback, a little retro weather. Not going to be a huge amount of snow, but about 1, 2, maybe 3-inch snow in spots as the low zips through tomorrow night. So we haven't had a measurable snow going back 3 weeks, almost to the day of tomorrow. So certainly It's been a while. 41 the high today, 37 the low. And the reason that is we have not had any whatsoever clear sky to get the temperatures to cool off tonight. 43 Watertown, the top number today, 41 here. So everybody well below average for a change. Only maybe a handful of times this entire month of March we've had below average numbers. In the northeast, lots of clouds staying over the area at this very hour. But notice up here, nice area of chill and clear sky coming on in. So overnight, we are fairly confident that we'll clear the sky out for a little while. And if it does that, we'll get chilly. Now tomorrow, lower 40s at best. And we dance a fine line between the chill and the mild. Low pressure going to dive right along that boundary. And that's why we're going to be on the cold side with respect to that system. So let's take it by the hour. Friday morning, we begin with a clear sky. A great start tomorrow. Yeah, you're going to love the beginning, but by 4:30, clouds and some light snow showers coming on in. It'll snow off and on through the overnight tomorrow into Saturday. Certainly not going to be a huge deal, but again, we could get a modest amount, and then Saturday, sky will clear out ever so slowly. So back here tonight, again, want to emphasize, slowly getting clear and getting colder, 27. Tomorrow's on your screen by the hour. By noon, we're at 38 degrees, mid-30s late day, clouding up, getting snowy tomorrow night. Next 7 days of your life are on the TV for you. Take a look. Saturday, we start off rather chilly, some early flakes, sun late. Friday, 58 degrees, a couple showers early in the day. Monday looks pretty good. A mix of clouds and sun, 50. Middle 60s back in town. Back here on Tuesday, and then getting chillier and probably staying that way. You guessed it, for the Red Wings home opener, which will be 1 week from Saturday.
What a tease for them. It's been beautiful all month of March.
Shh,
April
they were in Florida.
That's yeah, a little payback.
Stay on the Ormway.
Serves them right.
Okay. Thank you, Scotty.
Hey, we've got good news tonight about actress Lindsay Lohan. This may have been her last court appearance. Find out more in Trending Topics.
News 8 at 11 continues.
As we do every night at this time for Trending Topics and viral videos. Let's start with actress Lindsay Lohan. And for a change, there's great news to report. Her last court appearance today, if she doesn't get into trouble again. Lohan completed her 480 hours of community service and counseling. The judge says her felony probation over drunk driving convictions is over. She's met all the requirements. Lohan will stay on informal probation for 2 years over her misdemeanor shoplifting conviction.
Well, for our viral video of the day, remember Susan Boyle, the Britain's Got Talent star who stole our hearts with her breakout performance? Well, this act may be the next big thing. 17-year-old Jonathan Antoine and 16-year-old Charlotte Giaconelli hope to win this season in the UK. Jonathan is a shy soul, but Charlotte says she helps bring out his inner strength. Watch and listen for yourself. This clip has more than 3 million views, and it's probably only get even more viral. A lot of folks like that.
Really good. For all today's trending topics and viral videos, join us every day for First at 4 with our very own Matt Malloy, Monday through Friday right here on News 8.
Kind of the meatloaf of the opera world, looks like. You know, he has the look.
It's very good, that is.
Yeah, good voice. In sports, a stern message from the Final Four in New Orleans. And it's not about college basketball.
And next week, it's for real. We're going to check in on the Yankees down south.
Now, News 8 Sports with Sports Director John Kutchko.
The Sabres were off tonight, but have a tough home game tomorrow night when they host Pittsburgh. The team right behind them in the playoff chase, the Capitals. They played at Boston this evening. Third period, it was 2-1 Caps off the steal. Andrew Ferentz with $1:16 to go ties the game for the Bruins. 2-2. They went through overtime into a shootout. Brooks Laich with a winner past Tim Thomas. 3-2 Caps win. They're tied now with the Sabres for 8th place and that final playoff spot in the East. As the Final Four get set to tip off Saturday night here on Channel 8 and CBS, the NCAA is emphasizing academics ahead of athletics in a week where Deion Waiters already told Syracuse he's done with school, going to turn pro. Here's NCAA President Mark Emmert.
We are saying to everyone right now, all of our teams, you have to be on track to produce a 50% graduation rate if you're going to be a participant in this championship or any other championship. That is not a huge demand to make, that half of your students will be on track to graduate.
That applies to all schools, all sports. Speaking of the Final Four, here on CBS on Saturday, pregame coverage begins at 6. Tip-off of that Louisville-Kentucky game at 6:09. And after that game, Ohio State and Kansas from the Superdome in New Orleans. For the most expansive online coverage, please check out our website at rochesterhomepage.net, your address for everything March Madness related, brackets, game recaps, all the like, at rochesterhomepage.net. The PGA's Houston Open, it's a tune-up for the Masters. Keegan Bradley, last year's PGA Championship winner on 16. Not a bad chip. He's -5, 2 off the lead. You say Masters. You say Phil Mickelson. His first hole of the day, long birdie, gets it to drop. He's -1 through 3 holes of play. We'll explain that in a moment. Angel Cabrera, his finishing hole, 18, the birdie falls. He's the leader at -7. But then the rains came down in Texas and forced a stoppage of play. A lot of golfers yet to complete their first round, like Mickelson. He only played 3. They'll try again tomorrow. Down south, Yanks and Orioles from Tampa. Next week, it's for real. Bottom 2. It was already 1-0 Baltimore. Raul Ibanez. Boy, the Yanks hope to see a lot of this at the plate. Lots of power from the former Philly. Home run to right, 1-1 game. Orioles led 4-3 in the 9th. Pat Neshek, remember him, former Red Wing. Used to be in the Twins organization. Gets a strikeout to end the game. Baltimore wins 4-3 the final. Please follow me on Twitter at twitter.com, John_Kutchko. One of the things I posted yesterday, a picture I took at Fenway Park recently, in Cooperstown at the Hall of Fame beginning April 9th. They're going to celebrate Fenway's 100th anniversary. It turns 100 on April 20th. They're going to have a lot of mementos, memorabilia from the Red Sox and from Fenway Park. A good exhibit that's going to last for several days at our great place we like to call the Hall of Fame.
You've got a great job.
I do. Thank you.
Love the Hall of Fame.
I do like that too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Johnny. We're going to have a final check of the forecast in a moment.